Is up, DW Nation? It's your boy Asante Grundy from the Disciples of Wrestling coming to you guys with the Elimination Chamber Recap. Alert, we have a title change on the premises. I repeat, we have a title change on the premises. And I'll tell you which title match that occurs, as we had a few of them that went on throughout the night last night. And it was a pretty solid pay-per-view, and I'm here to break it down for you guys. So I hope you're ready, because I am. So with the first match of the night, we had the number one contenders match for the WWE Universal Championship. And the winner will go on to face Roman Reigns later on in the night for the WWE Universal Championship. And the participants were Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, King Corbin, Cesaro, and Daniel Bryan. And this was a very competitive match. The only one who didn't stand out was Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn pretty much got dominated by everyone. But believe it or not, Daniel Bryan actually comes out on top. He delivers a running knee to Jey Uso to seal his victory against the other contestants, and he will be competing against Roman Reigns later on for a WWE Universal Championship opportunity. Daniel Bryan did his thing. It looked like at times he wasn't going to win, but he showed his resiliency, and with his veteran experience, he out-wrestled everyone, and he came out on top. So, big props to Daniel Bryan. So, our next match is the Universal Championship match. We have Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns. Now, keep in mind, Daniel Bryan is beat up, he's tired, and after that match, he just came off with at the Elimination Chamber match. And he pretty much runs out of gas on this one against Roman Reigns. I'm pretty sure everyone expected him to lose this one, which he did. But he did have a little burst of offense. He executes the yes lock on Roman Reigns for a little burst of offense, but that's all he had left in the tank, and the gas just runs out on Daniel Bryan. Roman Reigns gets a submission on him, and Daniel Bryan loses. I mean, like I just said, I don't think anybody expected him to win. But then Edge comes out and he spears Roman Reigns. So Edge has made his decision. He will face Roman Reigns at the main event at WrestleMania this year. And this will be a banger of a match. I cannot wait until Roman Reigns versus Edge. Your boy is ready for this one. So next we have our United States Championship match. We have Bobby Lashley versus John Morrison versus Matt Riddle. And initially it was supposed to have been Keith Lee, but WWE reported last night that Keith Lee was unable to perform due to injuries suffered last Monday on Raw. So Keith Lee was unable to perform in this match. But it was a pretty solid match. Great effort by all three wrestlers. And especially Bobby Lashley. He started out just dominating both Matt Riddle and John Morrison. But then Matt Riddle, he gets hot. He takes out Bobby Lashley for a little bit. Then he shifts his focus to John Morrison. So they go at it for a little bit. Then John Morrison, he's out on ringside confronting MVP, and MVP is on a crutch. So Morrison takes the crutch and he tries to use it against Bobby Lashley, and he fails, but Bobby Lashley gets John Morrison in the full Nelson. So the crutch is just laying there for Matt Riddle to use. Then Matt Riddle uses the crutch on Bobby Lashley, and then he delivers a Bro Derek to John Morrison to capture the WWE United States Championship, and this was a great win for Matt Riddle. He did his thing. I'm so happy for Matt Riddle. I mean, had I known that Keith Lee would have been eliminated, wasn't in the match, actually, Matt Riddle would have been my next pick, but I'm not mad. I'm happy for Matt Riddle. He did his thing, and we have a new United States Championship. But also, there's another title switch, so stay tuned for that. So next, we have a Women's Tag Team Championship match. We have Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. And this was a pretty solid match, believe it or not. And how it happens is that Shayna Baszler, she gets dominated by both Sasha and Bianca. She did have a little burst of offense, but it wasn't that much burst of offense. But she was able to get the tag in on for Nia. So Nia Jax comes in and she's going up against Sasha Banks. But then Sasha's new assistant, Reginald, who was formerly Carmella's assistant, comes out with a bottle of champagne, and he tries to create a distraction by throwing the bottle and giving it to Sasha Banks. But then Sasha's like, "What are you doing?" and all that stuff. But the distraction just blows up and it backfires for Sasha, as Nia Jax was able to take advantage of the distraction attempt and deliver a Samoan drop to Sasha Banks, and Shayna and Nia get the win due to the distraction of Reginald. So pretty much Reginald cost Bianca and Sasha the match. I would be heated if I was Sasha and Bianca. I'd give him a whooping in the back, but yeah, failed attempt just blew up in Sasha's face. So, yeah. And now, lastly, we have our final match of the night. We have the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. And our participants are Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy versus Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton versus AJ Styles versus Kofi Kingston. And this was a good match from start to finish. Everybody showed great effort and everybody looked good in this one. But the final two that remained were AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre. And this wasn't as long as y'all think it was, but AJ Styles, he's midair, and then Drew McIntyre delivers a nasty Claymore to him, and Drew McIntyre retains the WWE Championship. And that was my pick going into Elimination Chamber. But wait, we see Bobby Lashley come out, y'all. And Bobby Lashley, he's not happy because he just lost the United States Championship match. So he's fuming, and he takes out all his anger on Drew McIntyre and just beats the brakes off of Drew McIntyre. And yeah, Drew is just lying there in pain and tired. And then we see Bobby Lashley walk off, but then the Miz's music hits, and the Miz this is Miz's opportunity to cash in the Money in the Bank championship briefcase, and try to win the championship, which he does. He uses his Money in the Bank contract briefcase on Drew McIntyre, and he pins Drew McIntyre to become the new championship. I mean, The Miz did say last week he really did say he was going to come through and he may finally use it, which he did. And big props to Miz. This was a smart time for him to use it with everybody just tired and beat up. This was the perfect opportunity for the Miz to use the Money in the Bank contract and just seal a championship win. So great job to him, and I guess him and MVP worked out a deal before the match. Bobby attacks Drew, giving The Miz the opportunity to win the championship. So if that was a if that was the case, brilliant mind games for The Miz and just brilliant strategy for The Miz to capture the title. So, yes, that was our big title swing of. So, thank you guys for tuning in for this Elimination Chamber recap. Overall, this pay-per-view, I'd give it a solid 3 out of 5. I mean, it definitely wasn't the best one, but it could have been better as well. And it wasn't the worst one as well. So I guess it was just neutral. But overall, I'm happy for Matt Riddle. Great mind games with The Miz. And sad for Drew McIntyre. I liked him as a champion. But we know that Drew will get some more championship opportunities in the near future. So just thank you guys for tuning in and stay tuned for more Disciples of Wrestling content. I'm Asante Grundy signing off. Take care and love you guys.